So the boat just left, and it was dark, and I was being sick, and I couldn't really see. When I look back now, I'm thinking, you know, if I was going to die, it would have been then, I would think. Yeah, I got hit by a car when I got there.
Seriously?
When I got out of the train. Yeah, I got hit by a lorry as well.
Welcome to Vietnam.
She'll be in this hotel in Vietnam. And I was like, sound. I packed up, went. Next thing I know, there's 3 massive armoured vehicles full of Nairobi police. And they thought we were robbing the bank.
Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of the Wally podcast. We are joined by George Crow today for a quick chat about life lessons, a trip across China, a run through Africa, and a treadmill story that will get you going. We are joined with Warren obviously today as well. How's it going, Warren?
Morning, brother.
So yeah, today is going to be a fun one. We've got a lot of life lessons to talk about, and I think we'll delve in a little bit deeper than we have done before in any other podcast we've done. It's not going to be as jokey as the last 2. Well, maybe a little bit, but you never know. We've also got deity of the day to talk about today. It's only going to be a brief one.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have enough time for too much of it, but yeah.
Yeah. You're saying you don't like my choice?
No, not at all. Well, if you want to reveal it, you can.
Slightly
right
controversial.
No, I like him. I like him a lot. I'm a big fan of him. Him, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. There's the first clue.
Yeah. So do you want to reveal him?
Mate, yeah, absolutely. So deity of the day today, guys, is Zac Efron. None other than the Zac Efron. Slightly controversial. I put a little poll on Instagram the other day, and it was like Zac Efron, coolest motherfucker on planet Earth, yes or no? There was a lot of no's. There was a surprisingly big lot. You know, there was a lot of people that just didn't like it.
He's gone into like this controversial like point now in his life where he's going quite spiritual with everything, isn't he? Because if you know, like Down to Earth. Have you seen Down to Earth, Curry?
I haven't, no. I've seen Baywatch.
Baywatch.
Great film, mate.
Is it back? You watched it the other day, weren't you?
It's a cracker. It's a cracker.
You watched it the other day.
So that was the film that I had on the TV, and it's the scene where he's just rolling up on his motorbike.
Yeah.
The first scene, he's got like a leather jacket on. He takes it off.
You watch it and you think, I better go to the gym next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The thing that I like about him now is how he's using his platform to be like super like a proper role model, because obviously he was deemed to be this young hippie jock from from California in High School Musical, which is a proper cool film, by the way.
It's good.
I'm always going to back High School Musical. But yeah, like now he's using that like massive platform he has for proper
the greater good.
Proper use. And you know, like Down to Earth, obviously you haven't seen it, Curry, but Down to Earth, we spoke briefly about it in the last episode, and like it's proper cool. And there's a season 2 coming out soon, isn't there?
Yeah, season 2 is on its way. But I mean, it's more sort of Zac Efron's early career. I mean, the guy's had a hell of a career. So you go back to the early 2000s where he just started, you know, High School Musical. Obviously, you could argue the pinnacle or the moment he made his break. From that point, I think there was a lot of people that liked him, didn't like him. It was mainly sort of fangirls. He developed a large group of fangirls, and young fangirls at that point. But
what a nightmare that
would be. I know.
God.
But he's as his career progressed, like you said, he went into more sort of this adventurer kind of vibe. But more specifically for me, it was his performance in Extremely Wicked and Shockingly Evil and Vile.
Long brilliant title. Film. Ted Bundy. Yeah. Amazing film.
He makes a great fucking weirdo. Just as he does this absolute sex god, mate. Like, he's just like he was that performance, man. Wow.
When I saw that he was cast for that role, because obviously Ted Bundy's freak, like proper weird bloke, isn't he?
Yeah.
Horrible guy. And you know, you associate Zac Efron with being like everyone's goody two shoes. Like everyone loves him, hot guy. Really good looking bloke. Girls, like you said, Curry, drool over him.
Yeah. It was going to make him or break him, wasn't it? It was like it's going to be either terrible or very, very good. And that was just like very, very good.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to ask him? I'd like to ask him, why are you successful? Because some people might, if he was like the day he was born, was he highlighted, good looking, puts on gains easy, you know, intelligent bloke? Yeah. Was he always destined for that, or do you reckon it's like, is it in his genetics, or has he really, really worked hard to get there? And I'd love to know what he'd say. He might say, look, my fate and this is it. Or he might say, actually, the effort I've put in for all this is all behind the scenes and no one realised. So that would be I'd love to know the answer to that.
It can't be ignored though, can it? So you look at The Greatest Showman, for example. He choreographed dancing to the level and singing to the level that he's achieved. You can't ignore it. There's only one way to get there, isn't it? And that's showing up every single day.
Yeah.
And just learn. I've unplugged myself here.
No, you haven't. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, showing up every single day and just being dedicated to your craft, because you can't just turn up and be, everyone will just say, "Oh, he's good looking." That's why. You can imagine a lot of people.
That would be really annoying because everyone would be like, "Oh, you're born with genetics. You look great, and that's why you are what you are."
Yeah.
But I bet that might not be the case.
Yeah.
But the thing that surprises me most, like in the Greatest Showman, they, like you said, he choreographed everything. So there obviously is an element of like working hard and like him wanting to actually be like not have a stunt double kind of thing. He wants to be, because he was on on the what they called what's it called? The scene where the trapeze, is it? Where he's flying across the He's on that. That's him doing it.
Him.
Yeah, it's not.
This is So like almost like the sort of Jackie Chan role. He was deep sort of not sea swimming. He was swimming with sharks in Hawaii. I think it was Jimmy Fallon's show. He opened up about it on. There was sort of 10, 12 sharks, just like small sharks, like swimming around him. He was sort of having a good time, whatever, and immediately they all sort of made way. 7 or 8 of them just swam. So that normally means there's a bigger predator in the area that they can sense that he can't. And then before you know it, 13 or 14 foot tiger shark just appeared.
Oh God!
Just comes in out of nowhere, and he just sort of proceeded to let the shark know as best he could that he wasn't prey. So he kind of put his arms together like that, and did a couple of movements, and he actually grabbed onto the fin and just sort of went with the shark back towards the crew that he was with, and just sort of went with it. So that's the guy that this is fucking Troy Bolton from High School Musical swimming with like 13, 14 foot sharks that could like eat you in an instant. So you're like, the guy's pretty hardcore. You don't. People might say he's a fanny, but
would you swim with sharks?
What's that?
Would you swim with sharks?
Absolutely not. No.
Would you?
I've had a bit of a dabble swimming with sharks.
Have you?
Yeah. I was I worked as a scuba diving instructor in Tanzania, in Zanzibar for a month, and there'd often be sharks kicking about down there, and you can sort of feel the intensity in the water. They've got a vibe which is, I suppose it's a bit like a lion. You know that they could, even though they're little, they could soon come mess you up pretty sharp.
Oh,
yeah.
You're in their world, aren't you? It's like it's like a reverse world, isn't it? Underneath.
One thing I saw the other day. Obviously,
Bring your mic a bit closer.
I've never seen a fish of like that caliber in my life before. And I went to Australia, and it was like on Rottnest Island. It's like whale watching, and I stood there for a bit, and I was like, am I actually going to see one here? And you don't realise the caliber, like the size of those things. I didn't see it, but like seeing photos and like, you see like these comparisons, like a blue whale to like 4 double-decker buses. Like you don't realise the actual sheer size that these things have.
Yeah.
So I bet seeing it in person is probably like, I just can't even contemplate what it would be like. Seeing something like that in person, it would blow me away.
You're sort of defenseless, aren't you? Because you're not in your natural environment, are you? When you're in the water, you're completely taken out of your comfort zone. You're not as agile. You can't move. Breathing is limited for obvious reasons.
Yeah, if you get no oxygen, you're completely buggered, aren't you? So you could soon knock a pipe off, and you can't exactly fly up to the surface too quick. Otherwise, you get in a bit of danger. So
how did you get into instructing?
Long story, really. Basically, I ended up doing some scuba diving when I was away before I went to uni, and there was a bloke that said a lad's dropped out of a scuba diving course, which is where you live there, and you work for them for free, but then they train you while you're there.
Okay.
I just jumped on board and went with that for a bit, really.
Seems like a fair exchange at that point, doesn't it? You're kind of just doing what you can to get your foot in the door.
I think if you're a good bloke and you work hard and you look after the people that come and scuba diving and get to know everybody, and they think you're all right, then you get the bonuses, like going diving and doing that sort of stuff all the time.
So how long did you say you were in Tanzania for?
Only a month. It was just to do that course, and then I ended up, just after that, I went up Kilimanjaro with my mum. Just for a bit of a...
Just for a walk?
Just for a walk, bit of something to do. I hadn't seen much of them for that year, and I was off to uni after that, so I thought it'd be good thing to do.
Bucket list kind of thing. Kilimanjaro.
I thought it was a bit dull.
Really?
Yeah,
Serious?
it was really boring. Yeah.
Oh god, my friends just booked a trip up Kilimanjaro, so I'm sure you'll love to hear that.
No,
Make sure you watch this podcast before he goes.
I was thinking it'd be mega, and I thought it'd be really, really hard work.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like a challenge. It wasn't.
So
It wasn't very hard.
just a walk in the
And
park.
generally, you lot, even if you didn't do any training or whatever, you lot could wander up quite happily.
Did you go up a specific track that was like easy, or was it just the?
Yeah, well, we did a 5-dayer, so it's just medium terrain stuff really.
Yeah.
And we just wandered up, had a look at the top, went next to that little wooden sign, and then made our way back down.
5 days,
So,
just
yeah.
the cheeky 5 days.
Yeah.
And is there like spots to camp, or you just stick a
Yeah,
tent there?
just see where you get to. There's like campsites all up there in different places, so see where you get to on the day and get the tent up. One of the things why I think it was so easy is because we had the local lads carrying our stuff, so we didn't have anything to carry. So it's like just a bit of a walk really, and these lads were doing all the hard work. These blokes were incredible. So this is their full-time job, carrying kit up and down Kilimanjaro. So they'd have like 25 kgs on their back, and then wake up at 7 o'clock. They'd do their climb by like 10 o'clock, sit down and have breakfast as if it wasn't even hard work. It was insane, really.
Every single day, pretty much.
Well, yeah, obviously they have a few days off here and there, but for them it was just like what they do every day, and they didn't bother one bit. And that was the most impressive part of the little trip for me, was what these blokes would carry up and down.
Wow,
And they'd almost like jog up there just to chill out for the afternoon and wait for us to maul ourselves up there and
you could just
have dinner.
That's amazing. And when you think about that, like that's what we're meant to do, right? We're meant to be out in the open, walking up hills and hunter gathering and being human beings. You know what I mean? We've kind of evolved, haven't we, out from that kind of person.
You don't want to get me going on evolution, mate. I'll be here all day.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're not doing what we've evolved to do.
Absolutely not. No.
And it's absolutely causing havoc.
Yeah.
There's a lot of comfort.
Have you watched that film, Wally? Very relevant. Wally, have you seen the film?
I haven't seen that.
No. It's basically this little cartoon robot that sort of is cleaning up the mess that we've left on planet Earth.
Yeah.
After us just being these horrible like human beings that are just doing nothing but consuming and leaving plastic and waste and everything, and eventually the Earth just becomes inhabitable. So it's just there's one robot left on planet Earth, and it's all about that. But then there's these just like fat human beings living in a spaceship off Earth, going around in these sort of like, they're that immobile that they're on like floating wheelchairs, and everything is just like done for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the way it's going to go, isn't it?
Did you see? Obviously, Bill Gates? He predicted this pandemic, and now he's predicted bloody climate change. Like something's going to happen in a few years' time. Obviously, we're going down such a bad path, like you said, that we're not doing the things that we should be doing, and now we're creating all sorts of problems for ourselves in 10 years' time, or in however many years' time it'll be.
Yeah. That guy freaks me out.
Oh mate, it's like Elon, isn't it? It's just they both do.
Yeah. I was watching. I'm big into Joe Rogan. I like Joe Rogan. I was listening to Elon Musk and Joe Rogan. I thought it was fascinating how Elon's motive is the world's gonna end in 400 million years because the sun's gonna run out, and he wants the humans to become a multi-planet species. Otherwise, we're all gonna die out. Yeah. And that's his motive. It's like that is some deep motive to go through all that and think it through. But that's probably why he's doing so well. He's got a powerful why. He's got a motive, and he doesn't want the human race to die out. And he's an absolute hero.
He'll still be here in 400 million years' time, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's that type of guy. He's just living forever. He probably have a chip in him or something.
Yeah. What's that project he's got on at the moment now? It's like a chip that gets incision into the brain. I've got that company that he's running at the moment now. What's it called?
I have no idea. Didn't you?
SpaceX, was that?
It's not SpaceX. No.
The other thing he's trying to do is make transport underground in cities, which I think is quite
digging
cool.
holes everywhere. Yeah.
So you think of a city and you think about the price of the real estate, but you go like 40 meters below, and that ground's just unused. So all the transport, if that went below the cities, it'd be ideal.
It would change like the actual way the city runs as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's like the underground, isn't it, as well? That kind of thing. The underground is brilliant, but it's so crammed in there.
Neuralink, that's it. Neuralink, that's the company that he's also developing He's saying that Neuralink will be soon enough. It'll be as easy as laser eye surgery. So you basically lie down, and this machine will just put a chip in your brain, and it will essentially be a cure for like Alzheimer's, all the different sort of brain diseases, things like that.
Yeah.
You'll be able to scroll through your phone as well using your brain.
Yeah. He seems like the type of guy that would just like, he just doesn't stop. It's one thing onto the next.
Yeah.
And that brings you. Funny you said that really, because Ali yesterday at Crowe, I spoke to him when I got the camera off him, and he was like, Crowe, it will just be on one thing to the next. So like you'll just finish one project and then you're just on to the next with.
Why do you do that? Is that what you're sort of? Is there too many things interest you? Or?
Like you said yesterday when you were doing the stuff with Nitro Farm, the building of the new ramp. He said that you'd finish one project, you just one bit of it. You spoke to Ali and you were like, "What are you doing, mate? Just on what do you want to do next? What do you want me to do next? The next thing, the next thing." It's constantly like, because obviously
I think partly is because where I work, there's a lot going on, and we're always pretty flat out. And then Saturday comes around, and then you're still in that habit of absolutely flat out.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find it hard to switch off? Sometimes?
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, yeah, pretty full on all the time. I'm getting a lot better.
At switching off, or at like
just being happy and chilling out and relaxing and just living, really.
Yeah.
Just enjoying it a bit more. I think I'm pretty healthy at the moment, which helps. And everything seems to be running pretty smooth. So like now I'm feeling pretty good. Went for a run this morning, did a bit of stretching, had a couple of litres of water, jumped in an ice bath, and then just had a couple of bananas, drove here, tunes on, and
that's sun's out as well, really. Isn't it? It makes a difference when the weather's nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's because I was thinking if I was on the beer or whatever last night, I'd rock up here and I'd sound like an absolute idiot.
Bit rusty.
So my motive would be like, I don't want to sound like a fool.
Yeah.
But it'd be the same motive as keeping busy all the time. It's like I don't want to get old and think, oh God, there's loads of stuff I haven't done, or I'd be annoyed at myself for not doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think if I was old by the time I was and I'd done what you'd done by now, I'd be bloody happy.
Yeah.
Seemed like you'd done so much in such a short space of time.
I think because you want more, that's the reason you started in the first place. So then you do it, and it's like you still got that same emotion of wanting more.
Yeah.
So it's like never ending, really.
Yeah.
I think that might be the case, but hopefully I'll do some cool stuff, and I'll get to like 30, and I'll be like, sound, that's I'm pleased.
How old are you now?
Me, 25.
20. Jeez,
25,
really?
Yeah.
Wow. So
I feel about 35.
Let's talk about morning routines. I like that. So when you wake up in the morning, do you have a specific habit or routine that you stick to religiously, or does it sort of go with how you're feeling? Like you mentioned, an ice bath and waking up, a couple of litres of water.
Yeah. So basically, I have a list of everything I want to do in a day, and that's like a tick sheet.
Yeah.
And then I have loads of whiteboards with all the stuff I want to do on. And I wouldn't put it in a morning routine, but like diet, sleep, exercise, hydration, not overthinking, keeping track of your thoughts, all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty on to all day.
Yeah.
And the reason behind that is because if I want to do what I want to do in the day, and I'm being useless, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So I need to try and keep myself on point, really. To make sure I'm, in a good place. Like now, I wouldn't want to come here and be hungover and be useless,
Yeah.
So
You've stopped drinking, haven't you?
Yeah.
You do drink though.
Oh yeah, I love a beer. Yeah. Like last Saturday, had a big night, but all week I knew that I'm not efficient. Like I'm not doing very well. Like Monday, Tuesday. Yeah. Even though it's a long time for where I was drinking. My mind just feels like a low grade thing, and you just get those increased negative thoughts. Your motivation dips off. You end up developing loads of bad habits again, like eating loads of bad food, not drinking enough water, or your sleep patterns will go to pot, and you just don't get anything done. But I think going out and socialising, get on the beers is good. But if you wanna get on with things, I mean, you can't go and do it all the time. Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons uni didn't work for me, because Monday night big sesh, Wednesday night big sesh, go home on the weekends or whatever, drink again, it's like you don't get any chance to try and get yourself in order really.
No.
So it ends up like a big old blur, a big old boozy blur, and you don't really tend to get much done.
Going from sort of good to great to bad to shit to feeling good again to great. It's like a cycle, isn't it? Like with alcohol, you kind of go through all sort of emotional, like an emotional path, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like emotional change.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, really. I mean, some people can function brilliantly hungover and they do well. I know a lot of people who drink a lot and are good, but for me, I'm just not. You know, I don't really like going to the pub and just slotting 6 pints and just not feeling great. It's just.
So you say that, but are they really, or have they just trained themselves? Because for me, you can't optimize, can you? You can't. No one can be working to their full potential on a hangover. I don't think that's possible. I mean,
I know a couple of blokes
just genuinely
generally set
really
hard and you think it doesn't bother them.
The next day they just
doesn't bother them.
Mate, I'm written off the next day. If you said, you
go
to the pubs, chop 6 pints, my head would be on the table.
It's not as if I won't be able to get up and get stuff done, but if I went into a meeting, I'd be there and I'd just be.
See, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying
good.
like these guys that you say that can operate efficiently or they can just get up and smash it. Would they be as good as if they just?
That's a great question.
Did they just not drink at all? I think.
And they went for a run, drink 2 litres of water,
had
an ice bath, and got themselves sorted. Maybe they.
Do you do that religiously every morning? That sort of stuff. Just when you feel like you need to do it.
No. So basically, I normally get up and I have a list of things I do, and slowly through the day, I just get them knocked off.
Yeah.
If I manned up a bit and got up at 5 o'clock every morning and did a morning routine, that would be great. But I'm just not close to that, and just discipline isn't there. So,
but I think ultimately, if circadian rhythm's an interesting one for me because you say when you man up and wake up at 4 a.m. The 4 a.m. club, great example. The Rock, Kevin Hart, these guys, 4 a.m. club, boom, get out, smash it.
Yeah, like Goggins is another classic example.
Goggins, yeah,
he's nuts, isn't he?
These guys, I look at them and get tired, but then I also think, right, I've tried this before where I wake up at 4, I go to bed or whatever early, but I wake up at 4 o'clock and I'm that fucking tired that I just don't get anything done. So these guys are optimal at that point, but if you're getting 8 hours of sleep a night and I'm getting 8 hours of sleep a night,
yeah, I'm like 9,
regardless,
10 plus.
So if you wake up at 4 a.m. and I wake up at 8 a.m, but we've had the same amount of hours of sleep, but just our energy levels are optimal different times of the day. Is there really any difference in that?
Well, I think the reason I think I have a lot of energy is because I just sleep so much. I'm a big sleeper.
Right.
Sleep lots, then wake up and get on. But these guys, they can they understand their bodies so much. Their diets are so clean. They're so motivated, and their habits are so consistent. They can get up that early.
Is it motivation or is it discipline though?
Because genetics. Some people don't need much. Yeah. And I'm jealous of them, and I'm not one of them. But I know some people, and they're 5 at 6 hours, or even 4 hours, and that's like our 8 hours. Yeah. So they're just genetically luckier.
Yeah.
But if you said to Kevin and these boys, and you said, "Oh, you're genetically lucky," they'd just say, "Well, you can fuck right off, because you don't know the work I've put in to build up
that's it.
Myself to do it.
It's discipline. You say like they're motivated, but they will have days where they're like, I cannot be arsed with this, but it's just resilience and discipline to like actually do it. Because like you said, obviously you've got to be disciplined to wake up at 4 a.m. every single morning. It's hard. I'm never gonna probably do it because I just don't have the resilience to do it. Like, I probably could if I train myself into doing it, but like, there's gonna be days where you wake up and you're like, oh my god, this is just grim now. Can't be arsed with that. And then
imagine if you'd gone out the night before as well. What are you gonna do? Stop going out?
Just
to do a 4 o'clock routine that's going to be painful for at least 3 weeks until you get into that body clock routine.
You say about a routine. Obviously, we mentioned at the start of the podcast. You've got a little treadmill story to tell us, but this is actually like there's a reason behind this treadmill story, isn't there? Like,
oh yeah, well basically, how it all went. It's not even that much of an interesting story. It was just quite funny this morning. I thought it would be quite good to talk about. So I'm running across Ireland next month, which is like a 400 miler in a couple of weeks, and I thought I might as well get a treadmill, and It did make me laugh. Can't really make it up. I don't really think I should be telling you, but I'll just go for it anyway. So basically, went to buy a treadmill. Had a look on Amazon and eBay, trying to figure out like which treadmill to buy, and then found one on eBay. Thought, sound right, I'll get this, about $1,000 or something. And I ordered it, and then no money went out, and I was like, hang on a minute, this isn't right, and I didn't get like a confirmation email or anything. So I jumped back on eBay, and it said confirmed order. I was like, hang on a minute, something ain't right here. And then I realised my old girlfriend was still logged in on eBay.
No.
So I'd end up bloody ordering a treadmill off her eBay account. So it was a bit of a nightmare, really. So I just sat there like, oh bugger, this isn't good.
Did she ring you or anything?
No, I just dropped her a message.
What did you say to her? By the way, if you see a cheeky £1,000 get whipped out of your account, sorry, it was an accident.
My bad. Yeah, in the moment it was like, this. I am tragic.
Did you get the treadmill in the end? Have you got it?
I haven't sorted it all out yet, to be fair.
I still owe her $1,000.
yeah.
Still out of pocket.
But see what happens. But yeah, that was just to get a bit of training in, ready for next month.
What is the situation with the Ireland run then? How does it work? So is it, you said 8 weeks, did you say?
No, 2.
2 weeks, 400 miles.
Well, I haven't really sorted it out yet. I'm going with a girl called Catherine, I think, who was the girl I cycled Vietnam, China and Kazakhstan with.
Whoa, let's just go back there a second. You just
go.
casually said that. So you cycled Vietnam with a girl?
So basically, I don't know which story you want me to go on about, but yeah. So
let's explain how you met Catherine.
I sent her. So basically, I'll slow it down a bit. She's cycling. Well, she did cycle home from Australia, so she did all of Australia
to where? Here
to the UK, back home, the full shebang.
Just across the ocean.
Just pelling away.
And Catherine is.
So basically, she lives over towards Shawbury, and I found out on Facebook she was doing this cycle ride.
Okay.
And I was trying to do a ski season at the time, but no one would give me a job.
Is she a girlfriend or is she a...
No, not a girlfriend, just a good mate. And she was in Vietnam, and I just sent her a message saying, hi, I haven't got anything to do for 6 months before uni. Do you mind if I come and join you on your cycle ride? So I just bought a bike, flew over there, and just started cycling for 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, I think it was about 5 or 6, yeah.
How does that work? Like, you say cycling for 6 months, obviously you're not actually cycling for 6 months, like...
Constantly? On off? Weekends off? Or...
So we might have Sunday off if we were somewhere nice.
And where did you cycle to and from, sorry?
So Vietnam, left Vietnam, and then across China, and then halfway through Kazakhstan, and then flew in from there. Obviously, she kept cycling.
Wow. Why didn't you do the whole thing? Just didn't.
Well, I had to go to uni.
Oh, right. Okay.
So,
that was the excuse.
Yeah.
Sorry,
no,
just gonna have to go tired actually.
My legs are really sore now. I'm probably gonna go.
No. To be fair, after the first few months, the legs were pretty bang on. It was a bit like riding a motorbike towards the end.
Just absolute conditioned beast by the end of it. Do you reckon?
You get in that way, yeah. You can cycle well.
Second
you can
nature,
just cycle
just
well.
go, yeah. It just becomes this second nature, like walking. Just like you just go in.
Yeah, you'd wake up, do 100 mile or whatever. All the kit on the back.
Yeah.
And you'd get there, and that would be like
that's cool.
Like a normal ride.
Chill, yeah.
And then wake up, do it again, Sunday off.
What was going through your mind when you were just cycling like that? Because do you have conversation with it? Were you like, getting to know her while you're on the roads? Because I couldn't imagine holding a very good conversation while I'm cycling at 100 miles at this point. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, some days, like, because you're cycling for so long every day, like the first 2 hours you might get through a couple of TED Talks, and then you might have a chat for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then in the afternoon you might put your headphones on. But normally there's so much going on. It's like there's a lot to take in. So you're never really sure of things to interest you.
Did you have like beautiful views, scenery? Did you have any scary moments? Did you get hit by a car or anything crazy like that?
Yeah, I got hit by a car when I got there.
Seriously?
When I got out of the train. Yeah, I got hit by a lorry as well.
Welcome to Vietnam.
All sorts of stuff. Had some bad crashes.
Yeah, just I love how crashes. Yeah, I go by a car, go by a lorry.
If you're cycling all the time, you know, if you look at statistics and chances, you know, you're bound to get a nudge here.
And they're mental like driving though, aren't they? They don't. There's no concept of like space in like.
Well, in Kazakhstan, you get to the driving age, and then you go to the corrupt place and you buy your driving license, and then that's it. You can start driving. So it's pretty much just carnage, basically.
Right, Mum, I'm off to go and get my license.
How do I take my test? £60. What currency is it over there?
I don't even know.
Dong, innit? That's right. I was like, that's pretty sure it's dong, mate.
60 dong, mate. You haven't got to take any lessons. You just buy it.
No, that's it.
So obviously you're cycling with Catherine through all this stuff. Like, did you build like a relationship with her where you were with her, or how did it work? Like, you just became really good mates, or what sort of?
So I remember messaging her on Facebook and was like, yeah, I'll meet you.
Did you know her before this?
No, didn't know her.
Just randomly
messaged her, and I said, right, she'll be in this hotel in Vietnam, and I was like, sound. I packed up, went, got my bike.
Like next day vibes, or just
a couple of weeks.
Oh, a couple of weeks. Okay.
And then I remember just getting to the hotel. It's like, this is pretty nuts, isn't it? And then just went up to a room, knocked on the door, opened the door, gave her a hug, said, "How you doing?" And then
ready for this?
Should we get on a bikes?
Yeah, and then she was like, I showed her all my stuff that I'd planned to take. She started laughing because I had like 20 kgs worth of kit, and just like, you're not going to be taking any of that. So all the stuff I had basically put in the bin. Rolled half the toothpaste out my tube.
Seriously, like that kind of.
Yeah, that kind of standard. Yeah, and then got on really well. She's quite a lot like me in her mindset.
And now you're gonna run across Ireland with her.
Yeah,
that's an epic story, man. Like, seriously, like, you just don't. That's a true adventurer. Just someone that just buys a bike, sticks it in a box, heads to Kazakhstan.
Yeah, and does a bit of pedaling.
Gets hit by a lorry. Buys his driving license and then goes.
Did you get hurt? Were you like, what the fuck did you do that for? Like, lorry just what happened? Just to be like,
oh, I don't even know where to start. The amount of stories and stuff. What happened?
What was the best moment then? What was the best moment then?
Yeah, it's hard to pick an individual moment. There's some really special moments. We were in northern China. Just below Mongolia, and there was like all the Mongolian yak tribes, and just living with them for a bit and staying the night with them as we went. What's the word I'm looking for? When they just give you whatever you want and they're really nice, really kind.
Just like welcoming, just super welcoming.
Generous. The generosity of these people is just amazing. So we'd like be sleeping in these yak huts and. Showing them videos on my phone of like what I was doing back home, and then you can go from that to staying in the night in a Chinese brothel. Like you can double. There's like so many different varieties of what we were doing. Like we were sleeping in a tent, underneath the Great Wall of China or right next to that.
Wow.
And when we woke up, like even the water bottle inside my sleeping bag was frozen solid. Like it was getting that cold at some points. Like in the Gobi Desert, it was just cold, like really cold. Like even to this day, when I get in bed, I'm like, yeah, this is good.
This is
like
amazing,
the gratitude of just that bed at home, that still pops into my mind.
And you were obviously cycling across this, so I bet that was bloody freeze on your face as well when you're doing all that.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure I got frostbite in my toe. Which I didn't realise because it went numb till like 3. Well, I came home, went to first uni, dropped out of that one, went to another uni, dropped out of that one. I think it was like another year where my toe came round again.
Thawed out.
I started feeling my toe again. I was like, ideal. I didn't want that little bugger to drop off.
Welcome back, mate. Welcome back.
Back in the game.
This little blue guy just looking at you, while you're in the bath.
So you dropped out of uni twice?
Yeah. So basically, after I went to Africa for 5 months before I did the cycle ride, and then I got to uni and just found it so dull compared to what I was doing, and it was just
I bet
just not fun. Like you go from doing that to sitting in a lecture, and like it didn't help that I didn't really rate the people that were lecturing me. I thought they would just found it a bit tricky altogether. Really, just didn't really. I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and you get to a point in your 20s, you're just trying to figure it all out. It's like I want to do stuff and I want to get going, but I don't know what to do. So you're just caught in a bit of confusion.
You went from being in Africa for 5 months to then cycling across Asia for 6 months.
Doing the bike ride for a bit, and then
for a bit, and then
trying
just
to
go into
settle back
uni.
in.
Just
And
drop.
then I rock up at Freshers. I'm just strolling in. I'm just like, I just didn't really like it.
I'm not surprised,
really
mate.
like
I wouldn't
it.
like it if
Yeah,
I've just been in
yeah,
Africa
yeah.
and then 6 months in bloody.
And you're just spending like the next 6 weeks of your life with these absolute spunk bags that have been living at home with their parents all their life.
Well,
Just
no, you can't. I can't knock the people at uni. They're top bunch. But yeah, just boredom.
I've got to
Just
ask.
extreme
I've got to
boredom.
ask you though. I'm sure the viewers would want to know this as well. Was there any chemistry between you and this girl that you effectively
Oh, the
spent?
cycle ride.
You're talking about spending nights in a tent underneath the Great Wall
Yeah,
of China and
all the
things like
time.
that.
But yeah, no.
Was there like a divider in the middle and you just
No,
Right.
it was a very small tent.
Well, surely it would have to be if you're in like a desert, freezing cold. Though, like you wouldn't want to be on your own in a tent.
No,
No, definitely not. But no, I don't know how to quite describe the relationship. We got close really quick, obviously, because you spending so much every day, all day together, doing such stuff. But there was never. Well, she's quite a bit older than me as well.
Yeah.
But there was never anything
Like
even remotely close to going on like that at all.
Okay, that's
so
interesting.
It was never really that type of relationship at all.
Just built a good
Just mates
friendship.
straight away, and that
Yeah.
was it. Yeah.
So what did you get up? What did you get up to? Like, obviously, in between. Well, I'll skip to the Africa story first. You went to Africa before you went to China, and explain what happened in Africa.
Yeah, it's all a bit of a muddle, really. We've just gone on. Weren't we meant to be talking about Zac Efron, and is he a cool bloke? But yeah, we've gone on a bit from there. So yeah, before I did the cycle ride, when I finished school, I went to work in Kenya for a little bit.
Charity work.
No, just I didn't actually get paid.
Fancied a trip to Kenya.
Yeah, well, my dad went there when he finished school, and got on really well. And I just thought it'd be a good thing to do before I go to uni. So I headed there.
A little bit of a reality check perspective as well. It gives you a lot, doesn't it? You learn so much. I could only imagine by going through all that. Before you go to uni.
Basically, I got there, I jumped off the plane, I was in a car with my boss, and we had to run a few errands before we went to where I was working, and I settled in and stuff. And he went to the bank, and he pulled up in front of the bank. I don't think you're meant to park there, but he basically pulled up right in front of the bank, and he said just sit in the driver's seat for a second to make it look like someone was in it while he went in the bank. So he goes off into the bank. Next thing I know, there's 3 massive armoured vehicles full of Nairobi police, and they thought we were robbing the bank.
Oh,
So
Oh
they
my
jump
God.
Out, they jump out, surround the vehicle. My window is down. One of the policemen put a massive assault rifle, I think it was an AK, and he just popped it through the window, just rested, and put it on the inside of my mouth. I was like, holy crap.
What'd you say to him? You're like, bro, it's not what you think.
I was just petrified. I couldn't even move or talk. It wasn't
Is it
a case
because,
of-
I see, because he got out and you swapped seats. It's
Well, I think they might
get
have thought I
away.
was the getaway
the
driver.
getaway,
or whatever.
yeah.
And they just got the wrong idea of what was happening. And it was my first moment of, when you're so scared that you can't even do anything. You just
Brain freeze, mate.
Just like a marshmallow. Yeah.
What did they kind of say to you? How did it sort of unfold then?
How did it
Did
unfold?
you say to them look, guys, I'm literally just waiting for a mate?
That would have been a cracker. Yeah, just waiting for a mate.
like that
No,
meme.
no,
Just waiting for a mate.
Yeah.
Whatever, mate.
I was just sitting there like a marshmallow, and the bloke comes running out of the bank and sort of just tells them what's going on. And
Could
then
you imagine if he wasn't your
all
boss
unfolds.
and that was the job? Do you know what I mean? And he's like, yeah, you're coming to work for me for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, you're the getaway driver.
I'll be down. I reckon the margins will be good. Yeah, so that was as soon as I got there. So I knew as soon as I got there it was gonna be interesting.
A weird one.
That's a movie in itself.
Yeah.
It's almost like the Nightcrawler vibes. This guy signs up to a job that he thinks is going to be the job, and then it turns out to be something more.
Completely different.
I think
Yeah,
that could
was
have been
crazy.
pretty thrilling.
And then I basically get to where I was working, and they were just talking. It's like, oh yeah, one bloke got eaten by a lion. I was like,
Casually.
sorry, what? Come again? So basically what happened was...
I'd be on the first flight home.
one of the local lads was... one of the local tribal lads went to cut a leg off a dead giraffe, and there was a lion just lying the other side of the giraffe, and he didn't see it, and then he just jumped over and killed him.
That's my leg, motherfucker. No,
yeah. Well, he would have probably ate the bloke, but he's probably too full of giraffe.
Jesus.
But, yeah.
That's savage.
Yeah, death was very different over there. Like in the time that I was there, one bloke got eaten by a lion, one bloke got shot.
In the same like place that like the
no,
same.
just traveling around. One bloke watched a bloke die, who was in a really bad car accident, and that was a bit of an odd experience. So he had like no bottom half, and he was bleeding out, and I was just cycling along off to my scuba diving place, and he was just dying. And I was like, oh Christ!
Oh my God!
That was
You don't really think about these things. Obviously, in the UK, if you like, death is a little bit more kind of extreme. But we can't argue the fact that it's not extreme. But different cultures.
The mourning process is
it's so much different, isn't it?
Yeah, death is much more a part of a life over there. I think people die often, and it is what it is. But it's a bit of a wake up call. Yeah,
it's fucking horrible.
I went to Prague not long ago and went to a shooting range. Just as you do, we were shooting some cool guns. And the guy that took us for the day, he just kind of said, "Oh, just make sure you watch out, and the gun can't go further back from like 90 degrees from like the thing backwards, sort of thing." And he told us this story anyway. This guy, he showed up on a hot summer's day. He was just a traveller, and he had I think it was like a handgun, and he was lying down in the field just shooting away. And it was a hot summer's day, and he itched his head with the gun. Like that, he was like that. Oh, Jesus, accidentally pulled the trigger, blew half his skull off.
Yeah, not ideal.
And the guy...
not ideal.
And the guy just he just every like a normal day, just like, well, there goes another one. Just like
seriously,
just like just fucking. He just said that it wasn't. But the guy that was telling us the story was just laughing about it. I was like,
just seen a guy blow his head off.
Laughing about a guy blowing his head off. Just be careful. This is what can happen. We don't want to have to drag you away in a body bag today.
Yeah.
So obviously with like the process of death being like so, it's fucking horrible to say, but like normal where you were in Africa, were you not a bit like scared yourself?
I was scared when the bloke put an AK in my mouth.
Yeah, obviously.
That was a bit scary, but other than that,
not really.
No. When I look back at what I did, I wouldn't want my kids to do it.
No.
If that made sense.
Yeah.
Like I used to, another place where, this was back in Tanzania where I used to do the scuba diving. Like I was living like the far side of a slum, and on nights out and stuff, I used to just walk straight through this place and go home. I did it for like 2 weeks, and then the bloke got shot, and another bloke got his face all cut up, and I was like, I've just been walking through there pissed on my own, in the middle of the night, and then I was telling people like, well, how do you get home? And it's like, you'd never ever go through there, and I just wandered through there clueless.
A few times?
Yeah, every night after like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Jeez.
And when I look back now, I'm thinking, if I was going to die, it would have been then, I would think.
Yeah, just randomly.
But that's
caught.
It's, if you're going to die, it'd be things that you didn't realise. Like, I was just so inexperienced and clueless. That's when it would have got me. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been...
But it's this thing for sort of survival and your survival instinct, it's nowhere near what it should or normally would have been if you were back in the hunter-gathering stages. You're always alert, you're always aware. This is what adrenaline is, right? It brings up focus, it helps us be more aware, more alert. If you're just walking through after a few of the cold ones, mate, you're not going to think, are you?
Well, it wasn't a few cold ones, it was some serious...
Steamboat.
Yeah. Like stumbling through. I'd have been an easy target. I'd have been like a lamb to a lion.
Yeah, genuinely.
But yeah.
So what?
Don't really think about it now.
I'm not surprised, mate. That's not something I'd want to think back on a few times.
No.
It's pretty rough stuff, that.
Let's talk about swimming. You mentioned swimming before, and the channel, the English Channel.
Yeah. So was it 2 years ago? had a go at that. Didn't have a lot on for the summer.
It seems like you just do stuff like where we'd go on holiday. You just think like, I think I might just climb Kilimanjaro. I might just go swim the channel.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm gonna run 400 miles across Ireland because I'm bored.
You'd get on with Ross Edgley, you know that guy.
Yeah, you would.
You and him are like, there's a lot of similarities there. Ross, if you're watching, give Crowy a shout, man.
Mate, don't bother, mate. I'm nowhere near in your league. I didn't. You made it around the whole of the UK. I pulled out halfway to France, pal.
few more bananas, and you probably would have been all right.
Well, yeah.
So what? Had you trained for it? Like what?
Yeah, so trained pretty hard. Got an irrigation pond at our farm. I used to go and swim in that.
They're the ones that you just swim against, aren't they? Like you just relentlessly.
No, like just a big pool where we store water for the farm. So
you're
like
on a bungee or something, and just like, is that what you mean?
Are you just doing lengths?
Just doing lengths.
In a
Yeah,
pond?
yeah, off a big pond basically.
Oh, it's a big pond, is
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
And then went to the local pool, did a bit there, did quite a lot of cold water stuff, which was a bit disgusting, but it's good for you.
The channel's like just full of oil, though, isn't it? Because it's just seen as like ferrying, isn't it? It's not like a night you wouldn't ideally want to swim it.
I wouldn't ideally want to swim it. I don't know. It wasn't too bad. It was all right. I'll give you the full rundown, shall I?
Yeah, please.
So yeah, probably trained like for 3 months maybe, as much as I could. Drove down to Dover because that's where they do like the channel swim training. So I used to jump in my car, drive 5 hours, do like a 6-hour swim, drive home again. I used to do that like on weekends.
That's commitment.
Yeah, and then I did a lot of cold water stuff. I went to Croatia for a week on like a long distance swimming course, which was pretty epic. Got to spend some time around people that have already done it and some good swimmers. Yeah. So like it's easy to learn and absorb knowledge off those people because they already know how to do it and what to do. Yeah. So almost kind of think it pulls. Well, I completely failed. But anyway,
how far did you get?
So I did about 10 hours. About 13 mile I ended up doing.
That's still a lot though, mate.
Dude.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Are you going back for another go?
No, not going back for another go.
No. Why did you close the book, man? That's crazy. That's crazy distance. That.
Yeah. So. Yeah, basically what happened was I got a book it online because you have to have a medic and a boat to follow across.
Yeah, of course.
And then messaged one of my mates from uni. Is like, do you want to come and feed me in that because you need a feeder? And he went, yeah, sound. So I drove from my house down to pick him up, and then he drove down to Dover. So I was pretty much up all night, like getting my stuff ready, and then obviously took a long time to drive down there that day, and then my start time was 11:30 at night, because it could take 24 hours. You have to do half potentially in the dark. So the guy who was organising my swim was like, yeah, just try and do the first 6 hours in the dark, and while you've got your energy, and then you'll be light to finish off the job. So I was like, yep, sounds good to me. So yeah, 11 o'clock came around, went down to the harbour, jumped on the boat, and it was a bit dark. Well, it was middle of the night, so obviously I hadn't slept prior to that either. I'd overtrained way too hard as well. So I wasn't in optimum, just down to complete inexperience really.
Yeah.
And then went out the harbour, a lot of choppy waves, a lot of chop. A couple of the crew lads who were with us started being sick because they got bad seasickness.
On the boat?
I was just sitting on the boat in darkness like, oh my god, this is lethal. So I think last year or the year before it was like 4% chance of death. Like quite a few people have tried it.
That shouldn't phase you, mate. You walk through the slums pissed.
Yeah, I know. If I was going to die, that would have been it. It's like, this is
nothing compared to that.
No drama. Yeah. But yeah, people have had heart attacks and people have just drowned as well. So it's pretty.
So they've had a heart attack while they've been swimming. They've had a heart attack.
Yeah. So then anyway, jumped on the boat, got lubed up, got my goggles on, got my hat on.
Yeah.
So basically, you have to pick up. Well, I decided I wanted to pick up a rock from the English beach then swim to France and pick up a rock on a
Did
French
you?
beach.
You didn't swim with the rock in your hand, did you?
No, I didn't.
gonna
I
say-
was saying
that would have probably
slowed
been.
me right
yeah.
down.
that would have been the reason why you didn't fail, mate. You didn't complete it. Sorry.
So yeah, jumped off the boat, swam to the beach, and I got to the beach. I could hardly see the boat because it was quite far out. Waves were pretty mega. I was like, right, better just knuckle down here and get on with it. So started swimming, and it was dark. The waves were colossal.
No.
It was freezing cold. My goggles got knocked off straight away. All the salt was in my
Wow.
all the salt was in my eyes. Goggles were steamed up. Could hardly see the boat. So I was thinking, this isn't going well. I was in a bad place.
Swimming in circles.
Yeah, doing a few extra K just to lighten the load.
Swimming around the boat as it's going forward.
So basically, what happens is the boat just drives off, and you have to follow the boat. So the boat went, and obviously you can't swim in front of it because it will bloody run you over. So the boat just left, and it was dark, and I was being sick, and I couldn't really see. I think I had quite a few jellyfish stings by then, and then I just couldn't see the boat. So I was there, just like treading water, in a bit of a dodgy spot, and the boat was just going off, and I couldn't see it. So I was like, this is bad news. This is bad news. So I got in a point where it was like, this isn't going very well.
Did you have any sort of strange thoughts while you were swimming? Because going back to Ross Edgley, I've read his books, and I actually met him a couple of years ago now, where he did the Great British tour around England, explaining how it all went. But he said that he was swimming, and he would have these weird thoughts. For example, like, get an apple, put it in my pocket. Get an apple, put it in my pocket, and just random thoughts like that.
Did you see the neck chafe that he got from his wetsuit? That's horrible. That.
Nasty.
Did you have any sort of like weird? Did your mind just go off on one, or were you pretty composed out there?
This was only like the first hour, so mentally I was still good. Demons were not even with me yet, so I was like, get on with it. But it all started to change later in the swim. So basically, then I just kept swimming, and I said, right, you're probably not going to make it. Just swim till the sun comes up, make it till sunlight, and if you do that, you've done well. I'll go home happy. And then just got myself together really. I told everyone on the boat to just cover the side of the boat in glow sticks, so I could, even though I couldn't see very well, I could just keep going. So I just trundled on, trucked through a few hours, and then the sun came up, and I was like, oh mint, this would be like 4 or 5 hours. I was like, oh well, you've done well there, like, fair play. Like, even to me, I was like, that's a good little shift there, and like, I'm proud of that. Yeah. Even though
getting past that first hour is a good shift.
I didn't make it.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of it's like, you want to do something and you just completely fail miserably. But to me, that's a good little shift. And then
far from miserable, mate.
Yeah.
Mate, just for you, the thought of me even getting in that terrifies me. Like, I just, talk about being vulnerable and not being in your environment. Like, when you're out there and it's pitch black and you literally can barely see the boat, I couldn't even imagine what, you say there's no demons in the first hour. My demons would be with me before I even got into the fucking wetsuit, mate.
Yeah, no, so, I remember not really being nervous and doing it, and I was like, the thing that makes me happy is I know that there's not many people who come and have a go at this, and that was like a bit of a motive for me. So it made me feel good about myself a bit.
Really impressive, man.
And then just kept swimming, and then got to like 8 hours in. I was pretty exhausted, pretty tired. Normally, the first few hours is quite nice. So but I was drained after the start. Like, didn't really do any swimming at night before. Like, I didn't practice, so that didn't help.
What did you eat? What did you eat? Because again, Ross, he explains his swim was just an eating competition with a little bit of swimming involved. That's the way that he describes the swim.
Yeah.
How would you describe your nutrition? Did you have a banana guy? Like wing of bananas at your head?
So how the diet works was, I remember eating loads before I started. And that was a shit idea.
Big and heavy before you went in.
Yeah, I was just being sick straight away.
I just like in the water, just like a dead seal.
But after I finished being sick, I felt good. It's like, oh, good job done.
He was eating loads and carrying a rock. It's just not a good start, is it? Why do I feel dead heavy?
Rock, mate. Rock.
Yeah, just an experience really, and a bit naivety hidden in there as well. But basically, they put a pot on a stick. Mm. The idea is if you touch the boat, then you haven't done it. Well, I didn't do it anyway, but they put food in the pot on a stick, and then every half an hour they blow a whistle, and then they hold the pot out on a long stick, and then you get it out and you eat it.
Wow. So that's how they eat. Right. Okay.
But the bloke, he's called Luke, but we renamed him Gary at uni. He was the bloke who was meant to be feeding me, but I think he fell asleep like 6 a.m. for like 2 hours. So I was swimming.
Luke, where's my banana?
I was swimming for I was waiting for my half an hour whistle.
Unbelievable.
2 hours went by. I was like, I must be getting a bit delusional with time here. And then Corbett, the lad on the boat, was like, "Oh, sorry, Chloe, I fell asleep." I was like, "You absolute dickhead. At least put a bit of effort in. You have no idea what I'm going through." I started shouting at him, like, "Pull yourself together."
I'd be livid out of it. He was having a merry time on a boat, sleeping, while you're there ruining yourself, swimming the channel.
Gary's in fucking dreamland with the sharks.
Gary's in he bloody fell asleep on the way home as well, so I had to drive myself home from Dover. God. It probably wasn't No, it was good. It was fine.
Gary's not getting the job, is he, next time?
No.
Banana Man.
Do you think you'll do something like that again, or like try and do anything like that again?
I would imagine so. Yeah.
You seem like the type of guy that would think, I want to try and do it again.
Yeah.
What brings that to you, to your thoughts? How did you come? Does it come around? Do you wake up in the morning? Do you see, do you think, fuck it, I'm just going to swim the channel today, let's start training? How does it sort of come about? What makes you think?
Basically, I'd feel like I need to do something. Otherwise, I would be like.
Well, some people just go to the gym, bro. Try that.
Yeah.
A couple bicep curls is decent, to be fair. Like.
Yeah. No, I think it's like if I'm not quite set on something, you'll be in drift mode a bit, and then I don't really like that.
Do you feel like you always need like an end goal, or the next challenge, so that you've got something to work towards?
Yeah. So for me, when I'm happiest, it's because I'm making progress on a set goal which I want to do.
I really appreciate that.
That to me is where I'm content.
A lot of people don't have that, though, do they? A lot of people just, especially recently, seem to be in just complete cruise control with something that they're not really enjoying, but they're just doing it for the sake of it. It's cool that you say that you feel like you need something to work towards, so that you've got your happiness there.
Yeah, well, if you're not doing anything, you can't make any progress, and if you don't make any progress, you're not gonna be in a good place.
Fulfillment's not gonna be there, is it? You're not gonna feel like you have much purpose.
No.
And so on.
Yeah.
I always say a good little way of saying it is imagine football without the goalposts. So it becomes a pointless game, doesn't it?
Yeah, or you're going for a ride on a boat, but you got nowhere to go. You just end up bobbing around confused. It's not good.
But your goals seem they're definitely fitness related. Have you thought about YouTubing, man, and getting some of this on YouTube and vlogging? I mean, that'd be a crazy vlog, that, man.
Yeah, I think if you do it for the fact that you're making a vlog, your motivation's quite external, and then you end up doing things that don't suit you, and then you'll be a failure as such. So I don't really look too much for that social media stuff. Really,
that's fair enough.
You're not even on much social media, are you? Do you have Instagram?
Yeah, I've got Instagram.
Yeah.
I think there's 5 or 6 pictures on there. So
regular.
Getting the hang of it. Just started doing Nitro Farm. With Ali Miller, which is probably the reason I'm here, and that's all social media stuff.
Yeah.
So basically, in lockdown, we didn't have a lot on, and we just made a foam pit and started jumping bikes into it.
So what's Nitro Farm then? What is that?
So basically, me and Ali just started making a few videos because we've always just made the odd video, like when we go skiing and stuff like that. And we just started making a few videos, and then we made this one where we're wakeboarding round a digger.
That was a few years back, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that got a few 100,000 views, and then there was another one where we were water skiing behind a fast track, which got a few 100,000 views. I think it was a lot more than that, actually. And Ali was like, "Oh, we ought to make some good videos," because he's into social media and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And he's quite into all that. So I was like, "Yeah, if you want a video, sound, no problem." And then we started doing jumping the bikes and just making little bits and bobs, and
You've got a new.
Yeah, call it Nitro Farm. And,
yeah. There's a new season coming out. Are you going to do because I've seen on TikTok you've been building this colossal drop-in for the new.
Yeah.
The new foam pit. Is it going to be a foam pit or like a airbag?
Airbag, that is.
Yeah.
So Ali made a couple of videos. Like he put one on the other day, and it's got like over 250,000 views. And he's got like 10,000 followers just from the one video. I was like, actually, I was like, hang on a minute, that's all right, that's good going. And I'm a bit fascinated by social media because it's a big thing. It's a big thing at the moment. So it'd be nice to just learn about it a bit. I don't know if I want to do a bit of marketing or something in the future. I'll know how to
do it.
You know, get some results from it. But yeah, it's gone from there. And Ali's got some great strengths and assets. About like he's really good at making videos.
When you say
so
digger
really.
wakeboarding, do you mean like the digger sort of spins?
Yeah.
And then there's a rope, and
you attach a line to the bucket.
Yeah,
and away you go.
Yeah.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the video?
No.
Oh, I'll show you after, mate.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It's a good little video actually.
So the guys just search Nitro Farm YouTube. Check it out, guys.
Yeah, have a look. There's some good stuff on there.
New branding as well.
Yeah. Epic new logo. I don't know who made that. But
well, not me. Will. Wally Productions.
Yeah, no, it's good. It looks the part. So maybe we can do some cool stuff, and Ali can put some social media together, and we'll see what results we get.
Maybe we can get Warren dropping down the big ramp. A little YouTube collab.
We'll have to collab, man. What kind of ramp is it? Is it a mini ramp?
It's massive, mate.
Huge,
it's big.
Yeah.
Could you get a skateboard down it?
You could. Yeah, we
could.
Yeah,
skate,
you could.
man.
It's not.
No,
that smooth, but
it's a big boy like.
Well,
it's quite a big
couple
ramp.
of armbands and a skid lid. It'll be fine. Does it?
Yeah,
I'll show you
I'll
afterwards.
Don't mark my words on that one, guys.
So yeah, that's Nitro Farm really. I wanted to do. I'm quite keen to do a triple backflip on a BMX.
Mate, you've been trying to send that for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, I was watching Nitro Circus. I was thinking, these guys getting paid a lot, and that does not look hard. That looks so easy.
I watched some of the Nitro Farm ones, and it seems like you are fucking destined to do this triple back. You just go up it and you just sending yourself backwards to try and do it.
Ridiculous.
Honestly, mate, it's nuts. Some of the stuff you've been doing.
Yeah,
on that big one.
Like we'll get going now as well. We'll get going. I think all the stuff I do doesn't really match up my strengths as an individual perfectly, except for that. That just suits me, and it's a good little. That's about Nitro Farm covered really. Just looking forward to having a go on this big new ramp and jumping some bikes.
When can we expect to see it?
I don't know. Ali's in charge of all that. I think hopefully next weekend we'll finish building it, and the weekend after we'll have a test run. So we need to find someone to get the balls together to have the first go. You don't quite know how far away
he's
to get the
eyeballing more in
airbag
there
from the ramp, because we don't know how fast it is going to be.
Just stick Charmley down
it.
So basically, Johnny Charmley, quite a tall bloke. I wouldn't say he's genetically suited to jumping bikes. But he gave it a hell of a good go, sent it down the drop-in, and just basically fell straight off the back, whacked his back of his head. I was surprised he was even conscious.
Yeah.
Cut all his elbow. It was a good little crash.
No.
Yeah, it's a good little crash.
Super entertaining though. That kind of
It's
stuff.
hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. I mean the OGs like Jackass, like do you know what I mean? Just getting up to stupid stuff like that. I find it incredibly entertaining, man. I'm literally that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna search Nitro Farm and have a look at you guys.
Yeah, no, do have a look.
Well, Crowy, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, mate, and I hope you've enjoyed chatting to us. We've certainly, loved delving into some of the stories, and you said you could definitely talk a bit more about it, but unfortunately, we don't have too much time. We want to kind of keep it around an hour mark for the moment. But mate, it's been absolutely class having you on, mate. Thanks for coming.
No, my pleasure. Very welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much, man. And again, just to finish, a guy 25 years of age, mate, keep killing it. I'm super inspired by you, man. I really am.
I don't feel like I am, but yeah.
Well,
we'll see how we go. I'll come back on in another few years, and hopefully there'll be some funny stories to talk to you about, but we'll have to see how we get on.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Thanks, brother.
All right, well, that is everything now. We will hopefully see you in episode 4. Cheers for watching, and bye-bye.
See you guys.